Happy Friday, and once again, welcome to the Weekender, friends and family. How about those Raiders? That Monday night game was like just win baby back in the day. Had us on pins and needles the whole time. And just if you haven't seen, it's called the Summer of Soul. Man, I just saw it. It's a concert that took place in Harlem in 1969, and it just got released 50 years later. And it actually was the same time at Woodstock. Man, you'll be blown away. If you get a chance to stream it, stream it. It's on Hulu. So this week's article, it actually came from what we call moneyunder30.com. It's an article. It's a website that actually gives advice out to young people that's under 30. And even people like us that's over 30 can actually get some tips from it. And so I thought this would be a really good, interesting article. And it's the name of the article is How to Invest in Real Estate, the Smart Way to Get Started. And so it had some really good ideas that I thought I might share with all my Weekender friends here. It starts out by saying you can invest in real estate as little as $500 investment. Now, most people are probably going, what do you mean? So option number one, if you are a beginner and you want to get involved in real estate, there is a thing called what we call Real Estate Investment Trust, or RITs. You can invest in them. They're actually something that is actually on the stock market. You can invest in a diversified fund for as low as $500. And what this fund is, it's a fund that they actually take real estate portfolios and they kind of put them out there on the stock market, and you can actually invest. If you want to get a little more riskier, you can invest in a fund called Streetwise. You can invest in that one as low as $5,000. And if you're a big baller and you really want to invest in real estate the smart way, where you don't have to go in and buy houses, you can really invest in one of these investment groups. They have one that's called equity multiples. And these are for investors where you're making over $200,000 a year, or you have a net worth of $1 million. And these are long-term investments, just to let you know, and make sure that you do all your research before you kind of invest in something like this. The second option would be to purchase a rental property. Now, to get involved in rental properties, we're always thinking about here in California. Well, there are lots of areas you can get involved in what we call rental properties. You can go to Arizona, Nevada. You can go back east to Detroit. You know, some of these areas where the prices of real estate is a little more minimal and a little bit more affordable. But one of the things you want to do if you're going to go that route is you want to get to know the neighborhood because a lot of times we don't get to know the neighborhood, and you want to kind of get to know the market because that is something that if you get involved in it, you want to know the market, you want to know the neighborhood, because you want to be able to kind of calculate what the rents are going to go for and so forth, especially if you're going to, get a rental property. The third option is what we call short-term or vacation rentals. You can just rent out a room. You can rent out your house. There are options that you can do. There are some popular third-party websites that actually, kind of dwell in it. One of them is what we know as Airbnb. That's one of the more popular ones where people actually put up a room for rent, where you can put up a couple of rooms for rent for a short period of time. But when you get involved in these, you want to make sure that you know what the local laws are, because there are some limitations when it comes to renting and what renters have as far as renter rights. And then lastly, you can also get into what we call VRBOs, or vacation rentals by owner. That's another third-party website. Like if you have a vacation home or you want to purchase a vacation home and you plan out renting it out like up in Tahoe during the off seasons. Again, like I say, get accustomed to what the local laws is, because you don't want to get into a situation where you get a renter and now you got a squatter. And then probably the fourth option that we can actually talk about, that the article talks about, is it talks about flips. And we're talking about real estate flips. Real estate flips are very important that you do certain things before you get into real estate flips. We know in California the housing costs is really high and to, do flips here in California, you really have to know a few things. One of the things are you want to get very familiar with your construction costs, your basic designers, and then you want to get accustomed to what the local building codes are. These are some important things if you want to kind of dabble in some of these areas. Like I said, the most important thing is with all this is do your research, understand what you're getting yourself into. I highly recommend, if you have any questions about this, feel free to give me a call. I've dabbled in a lot of these areas over the years. I have 20 years of experience. Again, thank you for tuning in to The Weekender. I hope this was some good information. And hey, everybody, enjoy your weekend.